Hello and welcome back to our final GWeek episode of the semester.
To finish out this fall, we will be talking about everything from what you can do to have some fun on campus and in the district during final season to Trump's picks for his cabinet.
We will also cover spring registration and the best vendors at the holiday markets with our lifestyle correspondents. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the show. I'm Abigail Brubaker.
And I'm Avanti Putworthen. There is a lot happening in the world right now, so let's jump right in. On Sunday, November 17th, D.C. police forces heard reports of a body in the Potomac River near Georgetown. According to WUSA 90, D.C. Fire and EMS services were able to identify the victim as male and deceased when found. It is still unclear as to what happened to the victim, but investigators are continuing to try to figure out the cause of death. The identity of the victim remains unknown to the public, but is set to be released once the investigation concludes and the next of kin is informed of the victim's death.
A Georgia court has found Jose Ibarra guilty for the murder of Georgia State University student Laken Riley. Vivian Williams has a story.
The trial for the disheartening murder of Laken Riley has recently concluded, with Jose Ibarra found guilty on charges of malice, murder, and felony murder, and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Riley was a 22-year-old nursing student at the University of Georgia and was brutally murdered while on the run on February 22nd, 2024. She embarked on her run at 9 a.m. that morning. At 9:11 a.m., she called 911, but the dispatcher was unable to communicate before the call ended effectively. For the next 2 hours, she received worried calls from family members that all went unanswered. Her roommates reported her missing at 12:05 p.m., and her body was found far off the trail at 12:38 p.m. Her body showed significant effects of blunt force trauma to her head and signs of asphyxia. DNA evidence pointed to Ibarra being the suspect. Throughout his trial, other witnesses accounted for some other cases of aggressive and concerning behavior from Ibarra. Additionally, he was found to possess a fraudulent green card, which also puts him at risk for a maximum sentence of 10 years in prison, followed by 3 years of supervised release. The trial also showed that there was no direct connection between Ibarra and Riley, which officials described as a crime of opportunity. His trial was concluded with Ibarra being found guilty and justice served for the tragic murder of Laken Riley. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Vivian. In a sweeping vote of no confidence, French lawmakers voted against French Prime Minister Michel Barnier, forcing him to resign after only holding the position for 91 days. This vote came after Barnier used a constitutional mechanism to push past a vote in the legislature for his 2025 government budget. This puts the French government in a very delicate position as they are now without a prime minister or a budget, and Barnier's budget cannot be enacted. President Emmanuel Macron, who had appointed Barnier, is now facing the task of appointing a new prime minister as he faces for calls of resignation himself.
Students just registered for spring classes, which can be a stressful time on campus. We surveyed students across different grade levels about their experiences. Here's Ellie Bavey with the results.
With rapidly filling classes, scheduling conflicts, and looming graduation requirements, class registration can be a real headache. This year, students reported a mix of experiences. Let's go through the data for spring 2025 class registration. We received responses from mostly first-year and second-year students, with a few responses from third-year students. In some good news, more than half of the respondents got most or all of the classes they wanted. Quote, registration went very smoothly for me this year, which has not been the case in years past, end quote, said Lauren Thomas, a third-year respondent. First-year students seem to be having more trouble, however, with multiple testimonies expressing issues with being kicked off waitlists and struggling to get RTF forms signed. We also wanted to see if students relied on academic advisors. Only about a quarter of students said they met with advisors before registration, but those who did thought it was mostly helpful. This is Ellie Bavey for GWeek.
Thanks, Ellie. Early last Wednesday morning, United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson was fatally shot in Manhattan. According to the New York Times, Thompson was entering the Midtown Hilton for a meeting with United Healthcare investors when a hooded assailant shot him from behind and rode off on a city bike. The shooter apparently knew which door Thompson planned to enter and arrived outside the hotel about 10 minutes before his intended target, ignoring passerbys as he lay in wait. As Thompson walked towards the hotel entrance, the shooter approached him from behind and fired at least 3 shots with a pistol that appeared to be fitted with a silencer. The pistol jammed during the shooting, but the gunman quickly cleared the jam and continued firing. According to investigators, Thompson had recently received several threats. Police are still searching for the shooter.
For anyone looking for an escape from finals this week, GW has a ton of theatrical entertainment coming up this weekend. Generic Theater Company is putting together performances of the classic Kander and Ebb musical Cabaret in the USC lower level, with shows tonight and tomorrow at 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. If musicals aren't your thing, GW Shakespeare Company has showings of Macbeth at the same times in the West Hall Black Box. Also on the Vern, GW Tiny Dorm is hosting a concert at the Loop at 5 p.m. on December 7th. It will include performances from a couple of student bands and some thrifting. Next weekend on December 14th, GW Sirens are performing a winter concert in the USC Amphitheater at 7:30 p.m.
President-elect Donald Trump continues to garner national attention with his cabinet picks for his second administration. Marlene Orantes has the story.
With President Biden's term coming to a close, all eyes have been on President-elect Trump's cabinet picks as he prepares for his second term in office. Some of the most noteworthy nominations include Senator Marco Rubio for Secretary of State, Tulsi Gabbard as the Director of National Intelligence, and RFK Jr. as the Secretary of Health and Human Services. We got a chance to ask some folks about their thoughts on Trump's picks and their expectations for the next administration.
I don't feel great about his cabinet picks. I am concerned about how the next 4 years are going to go, definitely. After the more choices that were announced, the less attention I was sort of paying to it, because I was just kind of getting more and more anxious about it. I mean, I don't even really remember. I think after Elon Musk and RFK, I stopped paying attention because I kind of just didn't even want to know.
In general, Trump's cabinet picks, the people that he nominated seem pretty dishonest, and they're all from a similar demographic, which are like middle-aged and older white men who I don't think represent the diversity of the American people.
Every single time it comes out, it seems like panic mode sets in because none of the people he have chosen are qualified to do the job. Also with Marco Rubio, that was an interesting pick as well. I don't see the correlation with what he did before to diplomacy or international development or international relations or international diplomacy.
I do not feel great about Senator Rubio as a pick. I am just generally not a fan of Tea Party ideology, and I know that he has been caught lying multiple times.
I don't really know that much about RFK or Elon Musk, so after I heard about that, I'm also I'm an overthinker, I'm very anxious. I texted my mom and I was like, should I go get all of my vaccines right now?
I think Dr. Oz was picked because he is a celebrity or a TV personality, and I don't think he has the qualifications for that position. So
It was very funny because I was actually speaking to a doctor, and that's one of the friends that I was talking about, that we were sharing some type of panic. She was like, I can't believe these people are going to be my boss.
my thoughts on Gates withdrawing are positive. I do not think that he should be on the cabinet. He was investigated for trafficking and has multiple assault allegations against him, and I don't think anybody like that should hold a position of power, and I think it's really, really upsetting that he was even considered for a pick.
I thought that Matt Gaetz withdrawing was really interesting. It wasn't really something I was expecting. I didn't pay that much attention to it. I remember hearing about his sexual assault allegations and that being a reason, which I wasn't expecting from someone of that political area. I wasn't really expecting that to be the reason that he was withdrawing.
Given the events surrounding Trump's cabinet and staff picks, such as Congressman Matt Gaetz withdrawing his nomination for Attorney General following sexual misconduct allegations and conflicts with the Republican Party surrounding the nominees, many are curious to see how Trump's first 100 days in office will pan out with his new team, if they are all confirmed by the Senate. For GWeek, I'm Marlene Orantes.
Thanks, Marlene. Up next, more headlines and a check-in on the weather with our very own weatherman Dan. Welcome back. According to AP News, South Korea's opposition parties have made a motion to impeach South Korea's president on Wednesday after he declared martial law earlier this week. President Yoon declared martial law during a late-night press conference on Tuesday, citing, quote-unquote, anti-state forces and the threat from North Korea as the reason for the decision. This decision prompted thousands of protesters to gather in front of South Korea's parliament to protest, and opposition lawmakers quickly gathered to push through an emergency vote to lift the martial rule. Yoon accepted the parliament's vote and lifted the martial law, but he is now facing impeachment as early as Friday.
Let's welcome our very own weatherman Dan to catch us up on this week's weather and whether or not we can hope for a white Christmas. What do you have for us, Dan?
Thanks, guys. Good morning and welcome back. My name is Dan Salim, aka Weatherman Dan. With the semester coming to an end, we've got a lot of weather patterns to understand, so let's get to it. Looking up at this upcoming week's weather, we're starting with some spotty showers from Monday to Wednesday. Now, the sun comes back out starting Thursday to Sunday, but keep those jackets and scarves out because it's going to feel really cold. And I'll explain its uniqueness. Now, all of this last week, I'm sure you've experienced a different type of cold on campus. The best way I've heard it described is as a cold that bites you as you're walking around outside. That's unfortunately going to continue, but to a slightly less harsh degree this week. Now, despite the temperatures being relatively the same as the days past, the reason for last week's uniquely miserable weather falls to wind speeds. Last Thursday, we reached wind speeds hitting about 40 miles an hour. Now, for a little guy like me, that's dangerous. I could be swept up away getting my morning coffee. But the good news is that upcoming wind speeds will only reach speeds up to 23 miles per hour this week. Now, looking at our high pressure system map, we see exactly why these miserable patches of rain and wind are causing us such strife. There's no high pressure system to be seen remotely near the eastern seaboard. Instead, what we see is a triangular formation of 3 low pressure systems causing those aforementioned storms. But before, look at that black line. That black line is going to be a constant jet line stream of hot air here in the southwest, pushing all of that cold air off to the east coast and the northeast. Overall, with no signs of snow in the DC area, it's going to be pretty chilly, and a holiday season is going to require you to bundle up and enjoy the holiday break. So stay safe out there, GW. I'm Weatherman Dan. That was your forecast, and signing off till next year. Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much, Dan. Yeah, I am here for a few more weeks, and I am glad that it's going to get a little less bone-chilling cold here. What do we...
I'm actually a fan of the cold fall and winter. They're my favorite seasons. The only thing that I, don't like is the wind. It's the wind that makes it that, bone chilling, the cold that kind of bites you. But other than that, I'm really looking forward to hoping for a white Christmas if possible.
I'm crossing my fingers too. The chances are low, but I'm wearing my pajamas inside out, flushing the ice cube in the toilet, putting the spoon under the bed. I believe in all those superstitions, so we'll see what happens.
Maybe we'll have a white Christmas.
Absolutely.
Yes. Well, thank you so much, Stan. On December 9th, GW will host the annual Midnight Breakfast, a night of food, games, giveaways, and fun. According to Student Life at GW, this year's theme is Game On. The Student Center will be transformed into a retro-style arcade with games like pinball, esports, karaoke, skee-ball, blacklight archery, rock band, and much more. Tasty treats and snacks will be available in District House, and make sure to come to Kogan Plaza to make your study buddy, a plush pal that will keep you company during all of your late-night study sessions.
Donald Trump's victory in November came with congratulations from world leaders, but some have shown hesitation on what Trump's policies could mean for their countries. Sophie Leek has more.
Leaders around the world are reacting to Donald Trump's victory last month. Due to the United States' large influence around the world, governments are starting to prepare for his return to the White House. On social media, Ukraine's leader, President Zelensky, said he congratulated Trump on his victory. The Ukrainian president also said that he and Trump had a great meeting in September about the ongoing conflict in his country. The Israel-Hamas war could be affected by the new administration, and Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu reacted to the news by saying Trump's victory is, quote, historic and one of history's greatest comebacks. In the Western Hemisphere, Mexico's President, Claudia Sheinbaum, assures Mexican citizens that the country will continue to have a good relationship with the United States regardless of who is in power. In response to Trump's calls for mass deportations, Sheinbaum says she has plans to handle them, but will first work to make clear they are not needed.
Caso de que hubiera deportaciones, nosotros vamos a recibir a las y los mexicanos y tenemos un plan para ello, pero vamos a trabajar previo a ello en demostrar que no tienen por qué deportarse a nuestros connacionales que están del otro lado de la frontera, que al contrario, benefician incluso a la economía de los Estados Unidos.
Last week, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and President-elect Trump met at Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort. NPR reported they discussed Trump's claims that he's going to impose a 25% tariff on all goods imported into the United States from Canada. In response, Trudeau told the president-elect that the possible tariffs would damage Canada's economy, but Trump made no indication that he had changed his mind. Come January, we will see how the world reacts with Trump during his second term and the implications of his actions on the world's conflicts and policy. For GWTV, I'm Sophie Leek.
Thanks, Sophie. After the break, we'll be chatting with our lifestyle correspondents, Nina and Cassidy, about the best vendors at the holiday markets around town. Stay tuned.
This is what GWTV is all about.
I'm sorry. I got it now. Okay. God, mother of pearl. I'm so sorry.
I love a dingle.
A dingle really got me. On a flight with Trump,
Actually, yeah, can we restart E-Block?
Oh, this is my astronauts.
Peace would not back. I'm so sorry.
You're so
No. Get Carter out of here. I can't do it. Look at him. You see him with the little drug washing his head. All right. We'll do it live. Oh, I always wanted to do that. Am I cute? Who's cute? I'm having a good time, and I want to keep doing it.
I am too. I'm having a great time, actually, Jack. This is fantastic.
All right. Coming up, we'll be talking with lifestyle anchors Nina Rodriguez. Sorry. Next up, a mother is suing an AI company over the death of her son. As a quick warning, this story contains mentions of suicide and self-harm. Nicole Akumat.
Read into camera 3, please.
Nicole Akumat.
Akumate.
Nicole Akamati has the story.
That's not how you say it. Akumate.
Fuck.
You're gonna get and wait for our Q&A.
Okay, sorry. Nicole Akumati.
Akumate.
Nicole Akumate. Akumate. Nicole Akumate has the story. Carter, this water tastes weird.
Can we focus?
Sorry.
Suck it up, Buttercup.
Fucking put something. He's trying to sabotage me in my performance.
I think that was good. Do you feel comfortable with it?
Yeah.
Okay, slay.
Cool. I think my lips are dry. Do my lips look dry?
Your lips are fine. Read the script.
Oh, okay.
That's all we have for you for this That's all we have for you. Sorry.
Say whatever you want.
Okay.
Well, that's the spirit, Emma. I love that.
But I don't think I have it in the budget to have 6 costumes.
We're being told we're gonna get started.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotta lock in.
Gotta lock in.
I think it was good, but I have the feeling that I emphasized a little too much
Hey, that's okay.
on the Trump one.
No. Hey.
Also, I appreciate everyone who laughed when I first said "so what" in the control room.
Who said
That was
confidence?
hilarious. A sword, because your last headline you just kept on like, yeah, exactly. It was hilarious. It was.
Cheers. Amen, Kamala.
Welcome back. Our lifestyle correspondents Nina and Cassidy are here to break down the DC holiday markets. Take it away, Nina.
Thanks, Abby. Here in DC, holiday cheer, festivities, and fun are nowhere in short supply. Holiday markets have been popping up in and around the area, featuring delicious treats, breathtaking decorations, and the perfect place to find the best gifts. Grab a friend and shop small at one of these local vendors before heading home for the holidays.
The DC Holiday Market is located in DuPont Circle on 19th Street Northwest and will run through next Sunday, December 15th. DC Holiday Market features 30-plus small businesses, festive decor, and some sweet treats. If you're looking for a gift that will remind your friends and family of home, then check out these DC artists.
Be sure to visit Booth 5 for art by Zachary Sassim. Zachary is known for his original oil and acrylic paintings of Washington, D.C. cityscapes. From his interpretations of the monuments to cherry blossoms, his work can be found in the offices of United States senators and members of Congress. Also, make sure to visit Booth 11 for territory maps and goods. Here you can shop for vibrant, hand-illustrated maps of DC neighborhoods, or choose from their collection of maps from over 20 states to find where you could call home. Founded by Tori Partridge, she shares on her business's website that her maps are a reflection of her vision for the world, one that's connected, community-driven, and full of color.
Your next stop for shopping can be found at the downtown DC Holiday Market, which can be found on F Street between 7th and 9th Streets Northwest, located in the Penn Quarter Chinatown neighborhood. This market is celebrating its 20th anniversary with live concerts from local performers and 110 vendors in partnership with the Makers Show. If you're in the mood for a little sweet treat, be sure to visit S'mores and More. This vendor is famous for serving extravagantly decorated hot chocolate in mason jars filled to the brim with marshmallows, sprinkles, candy, and more. Being in the heart of downtown DC, this market also allows you to visit the city's other holiday attractions, such as the Washington Ballet's Nutcracker and decorated museums. But this market will be closing on December 23rd, so make sure to catch it before it's gone.
There are endless opportunities to get in the holiday spirit here in the nation's capital. Be sure to treat yourself with delicious treats and retail therapy this holiday season.
The hot chocolate at S'mores and More sounds really, really good.
I was gonna say, when we were writing it, I saw pictures of it, and it was beautiful.
Yeah, I love the DC holiday markets. I feel like it's a really good way to get, out of Foggy and explore the city a little bit. And it's a great way to spend a Saturday or a Sunday.
Absolutely. I can't wait to check out both while I'm still in town. Just trying to figure out which one, because they both have different things that that are good for the community.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so actually my parents are coming in this weekend because I'm in GW's Balance winter dance show. So I don't have any shows tomorrow. So we don't have time for both, but we'll pick one and check it out. So I'm excited.
Well, hey, good luck for Balance.
Thank you.
Yes, break a leg.
Thank you, Nina and Cassidy. According to CNN, the Supreme Court began hearing arguments on the case U.S. versus Skirmity this past Wednesday. This case regards Tennessee's efforts to ban gender-affirming care for minors and may decide how the federal law protects transgender people. Written by Republican Governor Bill Lee, this law bans puberty blockers and hormone therapy for minors and enforces civil penalties for doctors who violate these restrictions. However, doctors performing the same surgeries for cisgender minors for a congenital defect or early puberty will not be punished. These healthcare bans are becoming common throughout many Republican states, as more than 110,000 teenagers live in states with similar restrictions. The final decision is expected by July 2025.
This past evening, the National Christmas Tree Lighting Ceremony took place at the Ellipse. The National Park Foundation has stated that, quote, the tree stands as a daily reminder of the holiday spirit and of this cherished national tradition, end quote. The event also featured the musical performances of Stephen Sanchez, James Taylor, Trisha Yearwood, and many more. While the tickets for this event were based on a lottery, many GW students had the opportunity to attend a rehearsal version of the festive event through District Connections. Make sure you get the chance to see this magnificent tree in all of its glory before you head out for winter break. That's all we have for you for this final episode of GWeek. I'm Abigail Brubaker.
And I'm Avanti Putworthen. Thanks for watching us this semester and have a great break, GW.